They are ultra-conservative, they're unashamedly populist, and they're making all the running in next month's US elections. In a handful of close-fought races across America, a new breed of Republicans, known as the Tea Party, have thrown the political establishment into flux. One of the most outspoken is Rand Paul, currently tipped to win Kentucky's Senate seat. But as Sarah Smith's been finding out, his supporters aren't all right-wing extremists, but ordinary people hit hard by the downturn, who've lost faith in President Obama and his message of hope.
Deep in the heart of Appalachia, people are losing hope. This is a place where the pawnbrokers will also sell you a gun, if you can afford it. But poverty is widespread, and people are still waiting for the change they were promised during the presidential election 2 years ago. From up here, you can see into 3 different states. You've got Kentucky over here, this is Tennessee, and that's Virginia. And come November's election, the Democrats could lose seats in all 3 of these states. President Obama's name, of course, won't actually appear on the ballot, but these elections really are a referendum on how he's done over the last 2 years. And the result's going to determine what he's able to do for the next 2.
We've seen a huge increase in the hunger and the need for help in people. Drastic increase in that.
This is the Bible Belt, where people rely on Christian charity, where Sally Shook buys food for people who otherwise would not have enough to eat.
Let's get her this right here. She loves buttermilk.
People who've seen things get worse, not better, since President Obama took office.
How about that? Let's do that.
There isn't much of a welfare safety net in America. The poorest do get given free food stamps, but it's often not enough.
We'll just get some peanut butter here.
And the recession means 1 in 7 Americans are poor enough to qualify for this limited government aid.
Come here, Julie, let me show you what all we got this time, honey.
Pensioners like Julie Elliott just can't survive on less than £85 a month in food stamps. Her cupboards are almost entirely empty when we arrive with supplies. If you didn't have this help, what would happen?
Well, honey, I don't know. If it wasn't for the Lord helping us, I don't know.
Would you have enough to eat every month?
No.
No, it's chicken.
Sally often ends up spending her own money on food for others.
And Father, I just pray that all of this food that you have provided through the generous people in our church, Lord, that it would be a nourishment to her body.
But she doesn't want the government to step in and help because she's worried the deficit's already far too large.
In Jesus' name, we lift this prayer. Love you.
Surely when you see people in the desperate need that folk are when they come to you, you would want the government to spend more on them.
No. That you can't, I don't believe you can truly spend your way out of this. I mean, I've tried it on my own credit card. The more I spend, somehow I know that it's going to make it better, but it doesn't. I just end up with stuff, but it doesn't increase, it doesn't lower my debt, my personal debt. And if you just put more zeros on something as small as just an individual's debt, it's not going to make it any better. It will not. No, you have to stop. You have to stop something.
In these tough times, charitable food banks are struggling to get donations just when they need them most. This warehouse in Kentucky is almost empty because they can't afford the petrol to collect food that's been donated in other parts of the state.
Okay, can you handle that? Sure can. Justin, he's ready for his water, please.
When so many Americans are having to rely on charity just to get enough to eat, it's not a wonder that the dire economy is what matters most to voters. But again and again, you hear a slightly confused argument when people say they are angry the government isn't doing enough to help those in need. But at the same time, they complain they think government spending has run out of control and say that they'll vote for anyone who promises them spending cuts.
I say we have to, as a nation, cut spending. If you do not cut spending, the deficit gets worse and worse, and that's a problem.
Tea Party favourite Rand Paul takes his message of spending cuts to local businesses. He's advocated getting rid of all income tax and said pensioners should pay the first $2,000 of every medical treatment. Yet he's still ahead in the polls despite the fact a victory for him would cost many of Kentucky's working-class voters.
This is a spending problem in our country as much as it's a revenue problem.
Why was Rand Paul a member of a secret society?
But it's not Paul's policies the Democrats attack. It's a bizarre student prank instead.
Why did Rand Paul once tie a woman up, tell her to bow down before a false idol, and say his god was Aqua Buddha?
Paul denies this incident ever happened, but it's still hurting him with Christian voters.
Jack Conway has given me a stamp of approval.
Conway is Paul's Democratic opponent, and Republicans are using an Obama impersonator to mock him.
I need Conway in Washington because I know I can count on Conway to vote for more spending and debt, bigger government, and higher taxes.
In America this year, it is worse to be accused of worshipping the president than an Aqua Buddha. The Cosby brothers both work for the government, handing out food stamps and other benefits. They know how much serious spending cuts would hurt, but they're talking about starting their own local Tea Party because they're so disappointed with President Obama.
Well, I have no confidence at all in him right now. No, none at all. We've had 2 years and things hadn't gotten better, it's gotten worse.
That hope he was promising hasn't come true.
I think, yeah, I was looking forward to the change he was promising, but not this kind of change, no.
So you've got 6 kids living in this house with you?
Yeah, I got in a 4-bedroom little apartment. There's
Amber Laws hasn't seen much change in her challenging living conditions.
This is my 11-year-old's and my 5-year-old's bedroom.
Obama and the Democrats have tried to help the worst off, reforming their health care and extending their benefits, trying to create more jobs. But none of that has delivered what the Laws family need the most: 2 single beds for the 2 kids that share this mattress.
Yeah, to them it would be Christmas and Halloween and all the holidays put into one. Boys, this is my...
The Laws are planning to vote Republican this year, convinced that the politicians in charge in Washington don't understand how tough the recession has been.
They just don't understand. I'd say if they all took a week off work, had to get on food stamps and live where we're at, then they'd have a better understanding of what the lower class people go through every day.
And these are chicken and dumplings, Hormel chicken and dumplings.
Amber has to rely on the local food pantry to feed her family. And the Tea Party know exactly how to appeal to people here, how to exploit the fear and the anger that voters, rich and poor, all share. People in Kentucky and across America are still looking for change, just as they were 2 years ago. But in these midterm elections, they're looking to very different politicians to deliver that change. Sarah Smith, Channel 4 News, Middlesbrough, Kentucky.